I saw him wrapping his arms around a beautiful girl and kissing her passionately. I froze for a moment, then awkwardly clenched my fingers tightly. It's a well-known unrequited love. After being friends with Huo Wenhua for 10 years, I finally mustered the courage to confess my feelings to him. But then I saw him embracing a beautiful girl and kissing her passionately. Someone nearby heckled, and others laughed. How come you suddenly got a girlfriend? What about Yang Mo? The man casually bit into his cigarette. Be tight minus the don't tell Yang Mo. She likes me so much if she finds out. She'll definitely cry. I paused for a moment, awkwardly clenching my fingers. It turns out my secret crush was known only Hua Weenahan never wanted to reciprocate. He just doesn't like me. After that day, I stopped sending him messages and stopped reaching out to him as well. The next time I received his call was 2 months later. He asked casually, "Why haven't you been hanging out lately?" I glanced at the cold, ascetic-looking man beside me and replied with a smile. My family is pressing me, so I'm going on a blind date. The next second, the breathing on the other end of the phone suddenly became rapid. I'm a bit unlucky. The day it planned to confess my feelings to Hua Wenhua. Just as I reached the door of the private room, I happened to walk in and catch sight of a girl successfully confessing her love to him. Amidst the cheering crowd, Hua Wenhua wrapped his arms around the girl's waist and kissed her deeply. The laughter and commotion inside the room nearly made the ceiling burst open, yet there I stood, frozen stiff at the doorway, my mind buzzing with an eerie silence. A sharp ache gripped my chest, making it hard for me to breathe. Just one more step and I could have been the one to say those 3 little words, "First I like you." It'd been standing there for ages. And after finally managing to compose myself, I was just about to step into the private room to offer them my congratulations, when suddenly, I heard Hua Wenhua, arm in arm with his new girlfriend, talking to the others. His tone was casual yet subtly warning, as for the fact that I'm dating someone. "You guys keep your mouths shut, don't tell Young Moon." Hey, all these young gentlemen present, Hua Wenhua's family background was among the most distinguished. Upon hearing Hua Wenhua's words, they quickly chimed in. "Of course, Brother Huo, don't worry, but never say anything inappropriate in front of Liang Mo." A man, visibly drunk, slapped his chest and said, "Don't worry. Brother Huo, we've got it covered. Liang Mo likes you so much she'll definitely cry when she finds out." Amid a burst of laughter and playful banter expressing loyalty, I froze outside the door. I hadn't expected that Hua Wenhua and those around him had actually known all along that I liked him. I've known Hua Wenhua for over 10 years. The two of us were high school classmates. In high school, I kept striving tirelessly, always aiming to do better and better, until my name and Hua Wenhan's were side by side on the honor roll. In college, I'd always make an excuse citing the delicious coffee at that cafe across the street from his university to go there and study together with him. After graduation, Hua Weenahan stayed in this city to start his own business, and as a result, I stayed here too. In the name of friendship, I've been by Hua Wenhua's side for 10 years. Whenever I think back to those times when I pretended to be carefree in front of him, while secretly harboring hidden thoughts and intentions, I suddenly feel utterly ashamed. Just as I was about to turn and flee, I happened to bump into a waiter, and all the bottles of liquor on his tray tumbled down. Amidst the loud crash and shattering glass, the floor was left in complete disarray. In an instant, everyone in the private room turned to look toward the door. Hua Wenhua suddenly raised his head, and at the very moment our eyes met, a flicker of surprise flashed across his gaze. But soon after, he gave me a quick smile and spoke in a remarkably gentle tone. "Yang Mo, since you've already heard, I might as well be frank with you. I know you've been kind to me, and I've even tried to like you, but sorry, I just can't do it." The man spoke with a rather troubled tone, as if liking me really was an incredibly difficult thing for him. The surrounding crowd broke into soft chuckles. Standing still, I felt my face burning with embarrassment and confusion. I kept asking myself inwardly, am I really that bad? Summoning my courage, I opened my mouth again. Reluctantly, but you kissed me last night. All right, Liang Mo, stop talking. Huo Wenhua and interrupted me somewhat impatiently. Seeing that he pressed his lips together tightly, yet his brow softened again, and he let out a gentle sigh. Yeah, when he spoke once more, his voice grew even softer, almost like a promise, yet also like a soothing reassurance. Liang Mo, whether or not I have a girlfriend, you'll always be my best friend. I understood what he meant. My relationship with him will always be just that of friends. He'll never like me. I understand. The tightness and stinging in my eyes were about to spill over. I clenched the hem of my skirt, trying hard to force a calm smile, but in the end, tears still slipped down my face. The world ahead of me was growing increasingly hazy. I knew that staying any longer would only make things even more embarrassing for me. I lowered my head and quickly said, I've got something to do, I'll be going now. I straightened my back as best I could turn around, quickly stepping out of the private compartment. It wasn't until I'd walked quite a distance away that I finally leaned against the wall, trembling all over. Tears welled up uncontrollably, falling in large drops onto the carpet, spreading out in a hazy mist, silent and utterly still. After that day, I blocked all of Huo and Huan's contact information, deleted every photo related to him, and quit my job in this city, planning to return home and pursue my career there. While packing up my things, I came across a lot of items that had something to do with Huo Nihan. There was the pen HED picked up for me back in high school, the scrap paper we'd used together for late-night study sessions in college, and even the draft proposal I stayed up late to revise for him during his startup's early days. Each and every one of these items held a little secret he'd been keeping for 10 years. I packed all these things into a box, locked it away in the deepest part of my wardrobe, and locked up my decade-long fondness as well. After returning to my hometown, I began going on blind dates arranged by my family. That day, when I called Huo Nihan, I was sitting together with my blind-date partner, Chen Mo. Chen Mo was a gentle and refined doctor, quiet but deeply considerate. When he overheard our conversation on the phone, he simply quietly handed me a glass of warm water, without asking any further questions. After hanging up the phone, Chen Mo looked at me with a calm tone. Is it an old friend? I nodded, feeling a bit embarrassed. Yeah, a friend I've known for a long time. He smiled and said, It's okay, I understand. Chen Mo's thoughtfulness and respect gradually eased the tension in my heart. HES nothing like Huo and Huan, who always remained lost in his own world, completely oblivious to my emotions. Huo, when Huan started frantically looking for me, he kept asking about me through all our mutual friends and even went so far as to stake out the place where I used to live, but by then, it already moved away. He didn't know where my family lived, so he just kept calling and texting me over and over again. But I never answered his calls or messages anymore. Later, he got my new contact information through my best friend and started sending me messages every day, starting with "Where are you?" then moving on to "I was wrong," and finally ending with "Liang Mo, I like you. Would you like to be together?" As I read those messages, I couldn't help but feel ironic. He likes me? After I'd given up on him for 10 years, he says he likes me now? I sent him a message. Huo Wen Huan, it's late. He called, his voice trembling with tears. Liang Mo, I know I was wrong. I was a jerk back then. I shouldn't have been so cold to you. And I shouldn't have ignored your feelings. Will you please come back? I said calmly, Huo Wen Huan. When I used to like you, you didn't like me. Now that I no longer like you, and you're suddenly saying you like me, don't you think it's a bit too late? He was silent for a long time, his voice hoarse. It's not that I don't like you. I just am afraid I can't offer you a future, afraid of holding you back, so this is how you choose to hurt me. I laughed. Huo Wen Huan, it's not that you're afraid of holding me back, you just don't like me enough. If you really did, how could you bear making me wait 10 years? How could you bear letting me endure so much heartache? He was left speechless by my question and could only keep repeating, I was wrong, Liang Mo. Can you give me another chance, please? I've given you so many chances, I said. From the first time I mustered the courage to talk to you, to the first time I stayed up late with you revising the proposal, all the way to the day I was ready to confess my feelings over the past 10 years. I've given you countless opportunities, but it was you who chose not to take them. After hanging up the phone, I blocked his number again and then deleted all the chat records. I finally realized that for some people, once you've missed them, you've really missed them, and no matter how much you try to go back, you can never return to the way things were. Epilogue. I'm dating Chen Mo. He'll remember that I don't eat cilantro, will brew me brown sugar ginger tea during my period, will pick me up from work when I'm working overtime, and will include me in his future plans. Our wedding is set for next spring. Before the wedding, Wen Huayan had someone deliver a return gift tea necklace it really wanted back in high school, along with a note that read, Liang Mo, I wish you happiness. He returned the necklace to him, along with a note that read, thank you, and I hope you'll soon find your own happiness. Later, I heard that Huawei Han had broken up with the girl who confessed her feelings to him. He began learning how to care for others and how to express his own feelings, but no one else ever appeared in his life quite like me, someone who'd been by his side for 10 years. I gazed at the sunlight streaming through the window, with Chen Mo's gentle profile beside me. My heart felt utterly serene. It turns out that some unrequited loves are destined to remain nothing more than a grand solo performance. Now that the play has ended, it's time for me to step off stage as well.